atoyita muntu wange beeramu.
Tukwaniriza eno conference y'abavubuka aba people power tuli ku kitebe ekamu kya live headquarters kya people power. Tuwerabye olunaku lw'ejjo twakoledde twatongoza twayanjudde ekibiina kya National Unity Platform Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu abadde omugaddukanya ekibiina kya people power. Ekisinde kya people power yaleeteddwa abayanjudde
Oh, Uganda, we lay our future in thy hand. United, free for liberty, together we always stand.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bobi. Can we have a prayer led by Madam Angela? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Father mighty, I want to thank you for that gift of life. I want to thank you for each and everything you've given to us, Father. Father, I want to thank you for this day. I want to thank you that we are all wanting to come here. We ask you to bless this day. We ask you to bless whoever is here. We ask you that you may be with us. We ask you to send your guiding angels to come and protect us while we are here. For we know no weapon formed against us shall prosper. I pray that even when we are going to leave this place, we live in your safe hands. I pray all that living and trusting in thy name Jesus Christ.
Amen.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Madam Venerable Angela. Today is a very, very, very wonderful day for us in the Youth Fraternity of People Power, the youth leader, and all the young people of this country, Uganda. Allow me convey my apologies for beginning late, but we just had a few challenges here and there because we were waiting for our principal, the
Honorable Robert Chakulani Sentamu, who was also finishing with a few engagements, and he will be with us here very shortly. I pray that you understand us. Today, to the people in the press, the youth leaders who have been tirelessly working in the different districts and the different regions, and all the people who wish this country well and wish that we should change the leadership of this country, but not only the leadership, but also the social ways of people in which they are living in. Thank you very much for all the work you've been doing. Today particularly, we are unveiling the youth coordination team, which has been working even before they were unveiled, but we shall also, after unveiling them, we shall be sending them off to go and start mobilizing, because I know you've been mobilizing, but most importantly, identify candidates that are going to be endorsed by the People Power movement, who are going to run on the People Power flag at the different village youth council elections, which we all know that they're upcoming. The National Youth Council elections that are starting on the 29th July of this year are the first set of elections we are having in this country come 2021. So the electoral process of 2021 already started, for those who did not know. And the first people who are going to be elected as the next leaders in the next 5 years are going to be youth people, the youth council members, starting with the village level. And I also want to inform, because these elections have always been shadowed and have not been given enough light for every young person out there to participate and understand that the youths also have a voice, and youths can also change this country and give direction to this country, because they have these ideas and they are also able to. We shall have the village elections first, because youth elections are run under electoral colleges. So we shall have youth members, youth people, youth candidates get nominated between the 29th of July and 5th of August. So we expect all the coordinators here that are going to be unveiled to have nine people at the village level who are going to be candidates for the People Power movement, who will contest against the other people who will come to contest in those elections at village level. We have 9 positions at village level. We have the chairperson of the village youth council, because you must understand that every young person between the age of 18 and below the age of 30 is a member of the village youth council of their particular village. So that council will sit and elect its executive. That executive are the people who are going to go for nominations beginning with the 29th of July. And there are 9 elections on the village youth council executive, 9 positions on the village council executive. The first position is the chairperson of the village youth council. Then we also have the vice chairperson of the village youth council. We also have the general secretary of the village youth council. We have a publicity secretary. We have a secretary for female affairs, who must be female. We have a secretary for student affairs, who must be a student with a student's ID. We have a secretary for finance. We have secretary for publicity. We have secretary for labor affairs, and we also have secretary for culture, sports and culture affairs. Those are the 9 positions that are going to be elected at the village level. So after electing those 9 people are the ones who make up the parish council of the youth in that particular parish. For example, if you have 5 villages in that particular parish, we make people from all those 5 villages come together. The 9 people who have been elected at the village come together and elect at the parish and elect people of the parish executive committee of the youth council in that parish. And those are the people, those 9 people become the parish youth council executive member of your parish. So if you are not part of the election process at village level, you are not going to be counted. I therefore call upon all youths and all young people all over the country, Uganda, to come and be counted amongst the people who want change and who want to change the leadership of this country so that it becomes the leadership for the people and by the people. That means we must all be part of the village elections. Participate as a candidate, or you can participate as a voter. You can also participate as a campaigner so that you are counted. At the parish level, these people are also, the 9 that are elected at the parish level make up the committee for make up the council for the sub-county level. When the sub-county level sits, we elect the sub-county executive committee, still of the 9 people. But we all know that in the sub-county local government council, we have youth representatives who are councillors. So those people are also elected at that point. Thereafter, we get the executive, we get the district youth council from the three people, the chairperson of every sub-county, the secretary for female affairs of every sub-county, and secretary for finance of every sub-county make up what we call the district youth council. This district youth council sits and votes its executive members, who also have those 9 positions I mentioned at the village level. But we also have councillors that represent young people in the local government council at the district level. Those people are also elected at that level. After making up the district youth council executive, we go to the national youth council, national youth council, and the national youth council is made up of the chairperson of every district in this country, Uganda, the secretary for female affairs of every district in this country, Uganda, and secretary for finance of every district in Uganda. Those 3 make up the national youth council. But we also have young people who are in institutions. Those people are called, we get Ruunsa representatives from the National Students Association, Uganda National Students Association. These also are represented in the National Youth Council, and these are the voters who vote the National Executive Youth Council. After voting for the Youth Council as the executive, we have 11 positions at the National Youth Council executive. These other 2 who are added to the other 9 are secretary for legal affairs and secretary for external affairs. But we also know that we have members of parliament that represent the young people in the parliament of Uganda. So the National Youth Council votes for the national female youth MP of this country, who must be female. But also we have regional youth members of parliament. The East has a member of parliament, the West Central, and the North. So the people who form the district youth council, every district youth council makes up the team that votes for the regional youth MPs. Every district in that region makes up. So that is the composition, or that is what we call the youth structure, and that makes up the National Youth Council. But if you really understood me so well, if you are not part of this election at the village level, you may not have chance to be part and parcel of this election at any higher level. So we encourage every young person, have your voice, come and contest, come and be voted for, or come and vote for this election. With that, I think as the coordinators and the people in the press, I pray that you continue circulating this information. Please give more light to this election. One of the reasons young people have not been participating in this election, because it has been shadowed. It has not been given light. But as the People Power movement, who believe that the youth can also take charge of this country, we come here today to shine more light on this election, and also call upon each and every young person to be part and parcel of this election. All those contesting for open position seats, please work in hand with the young people to ensure that we win these elections, and we win them in very big percentages. Thank you very much. I think that is the youth election we are going into for. I'm now requesting at this juncture, I request my fellow coordinators to come in and say something about the Unveil and also about the work people must, the youth coordinators are expected. The youth coordinators are expected to do, and also everyone, what will their role be? People are asking for the Uganda.
Yes, Uganda.
We shall do Uganda after. Let me call my comrades to come in and say, I remain Natabi Maria Ledokowaska. I'm the National Youth Coordinator in charge of Eastern Region, and I reside and stay in Jinja, Busoga. Thank you very much for God and my country. At this juncture, allow me to call upon Council Sas Marvin, the Youth Coordinator in charge of Western Region, to also give a word.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Council.
Like I've been introduced, my name is Council Sas Marvin. I am a lawyer. I am also the Deputy National Coordinator, the People Power Youth Wing, in charge of Western Uganda. I don't want to talk about so many things, but to add on to what Comrade Maria has already communicated, there's something that you need to know about what qualifies you to participate in these elections, in the youth elections. Yeah, the EC, the Electoral Commission, released guidelines in which it clarified on the qualifications someone needs. So, just because you're a young person, for example, does not mean that you automatically qualify to stand in this election. Qualification number 1, you must be a Ugandan. Qualification number 2, you must not only be a Ugandan citizen, but you must also be 18 years and above. Qualification number 3, even when you're Ugandan and you're above 18, you must be a registered voter. Now, the EC says that for the level of village elections, which is starting on 29th of July with the nomination, the EC says you must be a registered voter in the village where you're standing. As you must be registered to vote in the village where you are standing, where you want to contest from. Yeah? We had engagements with the EC about this specific position, because it seems that the law does not support such an interpretation, of the EC. The EC's position is if you are contesting in actually this is the village Kamochawan, if you're contesting in Kamochawan, you must be registered to vote in Kamochawan, and we are saying that that may not be the correct interpretation of the law. But you comrades, as you know, in this struggle we have seen that laws are rarely, anything that concerns the opposition, laws are rarely interpreted to favor the what? The opposition. So the EC's position on this particular issue of where should I be registered from if I am to contest has been shifting depending on the circumstances and the location. So while in Kampala in the first election, while in Kampala and basically urban areas, while youth could contest for positions even at village level where they were not necessarily registered to vote from, you will find that in the rural areas, the EC has been misleading people, has been misleading youth, telling them that to contest from there, you must be a registered voter. Now, I think the intention of that misinterpretation may be obvious to some of you. Yeah, they see people who may spend their time in urban areas as more likely to oppose the regime. So when they give that interpretation in the rural areas, what they are saying is that those people who are coming from urban areas should not come to the rural areas and confuse what? And confuse voters and youth about the things of the what? Of the opposition. So that explains why the EC has been having different interpretations of this particular requirement that they say you must have for being a registered voter in the area where you want to contest from. The constitution gives any youth, just like any other Ugandan, the freedom of movement. Yeah? So you cannot say that you restrict where I can be when it comes to what? Voting. Voters have a free will, a free choice to choose who they want to represent them. I don't care whether Comrade Abuda Moses from Hoima has spent all his time in Kampala. If he comes to contest in Chikorobia, in Bunyoro, if I feel that he's fit for the position he's contesting, I should vote him. You get? But they say that you can only contest in the village when you are part of the what? The village. In other words, they are restricting the pool from which voters of that particular area can pick their what? Their leaders. And that's how we end up with so many of these problems that we are having. But anyway, that's a bit about qualifications. Number two, you as our youth coordinators who are going to be launched today, you must realize and understand that the task on your hand is not a very small one. Yeah? Some of you are probably going to contest for these youth elections, but there are also so many of you who are simply going to identify other youth who will contest in this one, this election. For example, me, I am a youth coordinator. Some people are actually thinking I would contest for what? For office. But I said no, I don't have to contest now. So the same goes for you. Now, if you are not going to contest, but you have to identify or interest certain people that you think are capable to contest in this election, you must understand that the first duty you have, not just as a member of People Power, but as a Ugandan, is to get those leaders, or is to identify those leaders who are capable and able to do the task at hand. So don't get people because they are your friends, and I will say it, do not go to identify people who will stand for assigned positions just because they can give you some money, you know? Because when they can give you that money, there's a whole pile of problems that they will leave in their way when they have come down to one day. So you have the duty to get the best candidate for whatever position they are contesting. Please take that serious. Okay, as I conclude, I'm already being told about time. I usually say as I conclude, you must always remember why you are in the struggle. Either you remember why you are in the struggle, or you ask yourself why you are in the struggle. Because you are going to find so many challenges as coordinators from the opposition end of the political spectrum in Uganda. You're going to run into so many challenges. You're going to have so many arrests. You are going to have so many trumped-up charges and other things. But the only thing which will keep you in the struggle is when you keep remembering what brought you in the struggle. If you remember the circumstances, the conditions, we are surrounded by a ghetto. We are in the heart of the ghetto. Yeah, that's where our secretariat is. So when I am passing by there, I always look at these people and remember that with circumstances like this one, that got me in the what? In the struggle. Whatever challenges I will find, when I go there and I find a shopkeeper being evicted from her shop illegally, I remember that that's why I did what? I joined the struggle. Now, all of you comrades have your reasons. Some of you may have joined for money, which is not a legitimate reason for being in the struggle, but others have fundamental reasons.
Thank you very much, Council Sas Marvin, the National Youth Coordinator in charge of Western Uganda. I take this opportunity to also invite my comrade from Northern Uganda to say something. Thank you.
Yeah, morning everyone. Yeah, I am by the names Obenju Samuel, commonly known as Strike Machine. I am the Deputy National Youth Coordinator in charge of the Greater North. I am going to be very brief and precise to my points. Number one, I would like to tell my fellow comrades, youth from across the country, we have journeyed all along throughout the previous night and the other day, that we have not come here just for the purposes of unveiling and getting ranks and whatever. that anybody could perceive. We have come here to first of all be given tool of power, instrument of power, that you should go down there to the grassroots and preach the gospel of change. Each and every Ugandan has a very strong reason, must have a very strong reason this time to either vote for whoever candidate he or she could be voting for. I need to tell you one thing. These elections that we are going for, I'm not going to talk on the youth elections, because youth election is gearing us towards the bigger picture. That is the national election, and mine is targeted towards the presidency. This election will really prove us whether we really love Uganda or not. This election will prove whether we are cowards or not. And this election here must be the beginning of a new era, whereby the fundamental human rights is respected, regardless of the corner of the country from which you come or the background from which you come. So my communication goes majorly to my fellow comrades in the struggle. We faced enough of challenges. But still I need to tell you that in a struggle, that is part of life. If we do not die today, tomorrow we must wake up and continue with what we shall have started. Because the struggle did not start today, it started sometimes back. I need to make a small bit of communication in Acholi, because I know very many people from the upcountry might be really watching this and might not understand what I'm trying to communicate. District ma part kan ma wan ha ki ñu constituency ma part kan wa ki ye bara mi ra bu lo ci ni mo wan pe wa biru kan ka launching ñu ka yar ka ma len vulu ma bi tiu ke di mi coordinating activities pa the pressure group people power ikumal mi Uganda ñu ka ber mu keneni ba wa biru kan ka yu dano ti ka yu pulu kwena ni we diri ma dano ti wa kuida ku tiere ku ci wayi yeb du te der ku ci ñot ni mo wan pe wa biru kan ka gene kan ka no mo mi kan ba wa biru ka ñot ku gene an bulu ku ma di tiere yeni bu bo genu duoro ki lu pe ku ma ba tiere yeni bu bo gen do ma maro lo gi ñu to ma don tek lo Uganda wan wa pe gi tiere yar wa ti ka lo da ye ku twaro kan ma wa te tiere yeni. Lastly, conclusively, I need to say something. People power. Our power. People power. I need to make this clarity here. I know very many propagandists have gone down there that people power is a central thing, is whatever kind of thing. I need to tell you one thing, that we are in the struggle. I am from northern Uganda, and I'm in people power. I have always been in people power, and I will still remain in people power. People power! Our power! So I would like to stop here by calling upon my fellow youth, my fellow people down there in the grassroots. We face enough. It is time we make a decision to make a U-turn in our country in terms of it proceeding politically, economically, socially, but it will be determined politically on the choices that we shall make today and tomorrow in the coming days of the 2021 elections. Thank you very much.
Let me take this opportunity to thank Comrade Sam Obedikiu for us in the East to say Wanyala Navi. Ganabe Musoganda Kwidamba Mwami Yakobye, Aye Akasira Kanok Mungane. Allow me welcome my comrade from Central, the National Coordinator in charge of Central Region, to come and also give us translate what he has said. Please translate for our comrades here in Uganda what he has said. Thank you. People power. People power. Our power. People power. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Namirembe Angela, the youth coordinator for People Power in Uganda region. I'm here to make some clarifications on what Comrade Marvin has said. I'm going to add on to what he has said. He talked about the qualifications anyone must have to contest as a youth leader in the National Youth Council election. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to add on, I want to emphasize on age.
any person who has to contest in the National Youth Council elections must be between the age of 18 to 29. 18 to 29. You must not be 30, but you must be 18, 29. Then the education level does not matter apart from those ones who are going to represent students. All those people who claim that they did not go to school and they cannot hold any leadership position, this is the chance. If you never went to school and you feel you must be a leader, you have always admired to be a leader. This is the opportunity you have. So I call upon all of you to go and contest in your villages, parishes, sub-regions, up to the district level. Then a point of, I want to also correct Comrade Maria. I got a call and I'm informed that the regime doesn't want the opposition people to engage in the National Youth Council election. If you're to observe very well, the National Youth Council entails only the members of the NRM. And this time around, as the opposition, we want to be involved. So, I want to let you know that speaking of nomination forms started yesterday, and it is going to end on the 26th of this month. So those who can go to the EC offices and you're interested, please go and do it right now. Just after here, go visit your EC offices and then get the forms. Because if you're not nominated, then there is no way you can contest. As the Central Region Coordinator, I want to request that whoever is going to take a position in the Central Region, or all of us, or in all regions, I request that we unite all the other people in the various districts or regions that we are going to represent. All those people who believe in the people power, you have to work hand in hand with them. And on top of that, it is not only the ones who believe in people power, but there are those people in the NRM who also want to join people power and they don't have a channel to connect with us. We are sending you, comrades, to be our agents. It is not only for us, but even you who are going. There are places you can reach that Angela cannot reach. There are places you can reach that Comrade Maria cannot reach. So we call upon you guys to go mobilize as many young people as possible. This is our generation. Remember, we are living in a generation that was not contributed by us. His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is not for our generation. So it is our obligation as the youth to make sure that we have a generation that is of ours, not any other person. And lastly, what I would like to talk about is intimidations are going to come, but no amount of intimidation shall deter us from fighting for what we believe in. Very many propagandists are going to come. The state will also have to torture you and do any other sorts of things unto you, but you guys have to keep strong. This is our country. No one will ever make our country better than us as Ugandans. And this country does not belong to any other person apart from us as Ugandans. You know, there are those people who believe that Uganda is a country of... Uganda is not a country of Ugandans, but we must make sure that Uganda gets back to us as Ugandans. Power belongs to us. People power. Our power. People power. Ladies and gentlemen, I remain Namirembe Angela, the youth coordinator for Central Region in People Power. Thank you so much. Okay, the Uganda version. Basewo ne banyabo, nze Namirembe Angela, ngamyuka honorable zake mu People Power, nga njagala okutwala omukisa guno okuddamu munange Marvin Saasi bye yayogeddeko oba okutereezaamuko. Yagambye nti qualifications oba ebisaanizo byoyo yenna yagala okwesimbawo mu bifo ebya National Youth Council oba mu bululu bw'abavubuka. Omuntu yenna tolina kulemererwa kugamba nti sigenda kwesimbawo olw'okubanga tewasoma. Omuntu yenna alina okubanga
Wobanga oyagala okwesimbawo nga weegomba okubeera omukulembeze kekana akaseera teri byagamba nti saaso guno omukisa gwa bonna nti oba wakoma mu bitu oba wakoma mu bitiri osobola okubeera omukulembeze osobola okubeera sekretale w'ekyalo kyo omuwandiisi osobola okubeera ssentebe ndowooza mubiwulira nti nze ssentebe w'ekyalo ku kyalo kyange gyenva so n'ekirala kyenjagala okutereezaamu bassebo ne bannyabo nti obululu bunene bwe tugendamu emyaka gy'abantu abalina okwesimbawo girina kubeera wakati w'emyaka 18 okutuuka ku myaka 29 tosobola kwesimbawo ng'oli waggulu wa myaka 3 kyemulina otuyambako mmwe bannaffe betugenda okuteekawo okutuyambako mumugenda kuba munoonya abantu abasobola okukola ki okwenyigira mu buno obululu kozi n'ekirala nga njagala kyenjagala okusembyayo nja kubasaba mwenna abagenda okubeera abakulembeze mubeere bagumu lino eggwanga lyaffe teri muntu yenna agenda kutereeza Uganda okujjako ffe bannayuganda teri muntu asobola kulowooza nti lino eggwanga lyansi ly'abantu balala nga si yeffe ffe bannayuganda tulina omukisa ogwo okukola ki okufuula Uganda gyetwagala ebeere people power our power Nyamirembe Angela youth coordinator
tujja kusaba okubuulira omulamwa gw'ekino
Thank you very much, Comrade Angela from Central. Abagala Oluganda munakisonyiwa ku bayitso bwe tujja kufuna oluvannyuma abalina okwogerako banjiko. People power! Our power!
People power!
N.U.P.
N.U.P. So we say people power is a movement that brings everyone, regardless of their religion, regardless of their tribe, regardless of their political party. So I am also people power N.U.P. N.U.P. So I'm also saying N.U.P. Oye! N.U.P. Oye! Thank you very much. So at this juncture, as I had earlier informed you that we also have representatives from the students' wing in the National Youth Council elections that come in at the district level. Allow me welcome the former guild president of Makerere University and also coordinator in the institutions to also call upon the young people in the students' fraternity to say something. I'm sorry, he's current.
People power. Joel. Energy. Makerere, we have energy.
You closed our camp.
Comrades power. Comrades Tibim. The students power. The students power. The people power. Ra. Cha.
Hello.
That's how married students behave. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Katerega Julius. I am the 85th Guild President of the Great Makerere University. I serve as the Deputy Head of Institutions in the People Power Movement in charge of the Kampala Metropolitan Area. I am also a youth mobilizer for the same movement. Good afternoon. I am here to emphasize the need for the youth to participate in the youth elections. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all made a mistake as a nation. You have seen, we have been telling people that elections begin in 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, general elections begin this year. As the youth, we make a composition of 78% of this population. 78% of the Ugandan population is below the age of 30. As I speak, institutions are closed, and the National Youth Council has not said anything about it. It has been student leaders trying to push for the opening of institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Youth Council is supposed to be pushing for the pains where students fall, or they are supposed to be pushing for such things. But it is because we are not involved, or we ignore, or we actually do not know what happened, or we do not learn of this process, and as such we are left behind. I want to encourage all the youth out there in the villages, in the cities, to participate. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to clarify on the issue of expression of interest for the same election. We have a National Electoral Commission, and it has a roadmap. And its roadmap has indicated that we are starting on the 29th to 5th. Expression of interest for people to participate in youth elections or to join youth structures in our villages. The same is not followed. As I speak today, as of 23rd, which was yesterday, we got information that the youth or the people from the NRM party are being given forms, and they are giving them forms between the 23rd and the 27th, and they are planning to block us on participating. I want to tell you that we are not going to kowtow in this nonsense. There is a roadmap, and it must be respected for everyone. That roadmap was given by the Electoral Commission, and I want to encourage the youth here that as soon as they open on the 29th, let us all go. Those of you who are interested in this process, go and put your forms on the 29th and the 30th, because after that, people who have participated earlier, after the 2 days, after they have put the NRM structure, they block people from nominating themselves. I hope I am very clear. I have come here to encourage students. A student soy. A student soy. A married student soy. So I want to encourage students to participate in this process. You have seen that on every village there is a slot for students. Now, for you to nominate as a student, you must present a letter from your school, institution, or university, and the student's ID for that matter, and the national ID on top of everything. So I want to encourage you today, when you get out of here, and those of you that are going to be watching us on TV, that as soon as we have spoken, go to your schools, go to your institutions, and get recommendation letters if you are interested in a slot of a student representative or the village committee. I want to particularly inform the youth, and mostly the youth in the People Power movement, to come through and participate. We as the students wing, or as the institutions in People Power, came up with the hashtag for this particular election. Since we are mostly the people no, it's called TL, Twitter. We are mostly the people there. We are going to be using an hashtag, be involved, to encourage the youth to get involved in the youth election. If you want to use it in different languages, in Uganda we say tukenyigiremu. Then other languages, it will keep on changing. I want to encourage all of you to participate. As I conclude, because concluding I must, I want to still call on university students in the villages where you are stuck right now because of lack of planning from the people that are supposed, that we gave a mandate to plan for us. That as it stands, there is one duty, or there is one window that has been opened, and that is the political window in the nation, that only politics is going on as it looks. I therefore encourage the youth, wherever you are, but especially university students, to get out of those beds in the morning and move around the villages, sensitizing people on the importance of the change that we are preaching and the change that we are talking. Thank you very much. I remain Katereka Julius, KJ, the 815.
President of Makerere University.
Thank you very much, Mr. Guild President, Your Excellency Katerega Julius. I'm sorry for having called you former. This lockdown has also not been very good to me. My apologies. When I talked of N.U.P in National Unity Platform, I had people asking me about people power and people going to pick the people power nomination forms. As people power, I now speak as people power youth coordinator in charge of Eastern Uganda. We are welcoming forms from people from all political parties who want change, and the Electoral Commission will guide us accordingly. We have an electoral committee going to guide us accordingly on how that will be done. Please, even if you're DP, my sister Angela is from DP, but she's also welcome to submit expression of interest in the youth elections under People Power, under People Power umbrella, because People Power is a movement that brings all of us together. So my brothers and sisters from the FDC, my brothers and sisters from JMA and all other political parties, we are welcoming that you bring your expressions of interest under the umbrella, not under National Unity for National Unity Platform. But members of the National Unity Platform, you are also welcomed to bring your expressions of interest forms. And on that form, there is always some place that shows which party are you. If you have a party, you can, like Maria has, I can put National Unity Platform. If you do not have any party, please feel free to say you are independent. On that very note, allow me invite the head of institutions in the People Power movement. I think he's also the head of institutions in the National Unity Platform. One of them. Please, Dr. Semboga Roy, please come and address the press and the public.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As has been introduced, I am a doctor and I understand that being in the sun for a long period of time. Ladies and gentlemen, ex-president of Uganda.
People power!
People power! Our power! Speak like the president is in the building. People power! Our power! Our power! People power! And I must remind you that the senior youth in the movement, you are most welcome. Colleagues, my name is Dr. Roy Sembonga, and I head the institutions in the power movement, but also a proud member of N.U.P. Please note, the umbrella is our symbol. I also come from Gambia Republic, and I'm the Minister for Health, and we don't have corona that side. And I am here on diplomatic issues. Thank you very much. Much has been said, and I do not intend to say much, but to emphasize, mostly in the docket that I represent. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give information. That one, colleagues, let us also welcome Honorable Zake. People power! Our power! Our power! People power! Please note that Honorable Zake was not with us earlier because of his health issues. And he was not born like this, but the state imputed pain on him, so when he sits for longer, it becomes a problem. And the principal had another engagement, so he can come here for a short period of time. We must understand that these acts are the reason as to why some of us are in this struggle. Because comrades like Mutiabula are being killed, and very many across the country. This is as why you're in this struggle. So I want to encourage all of us to remain strong, not to wither because you've seen a colleague being somehow maybe made them we must stay focused and understand that we must deliver our country so that everyone lives freely. Going back to the issue as to why I'm here, I just want to give information that on the Village Executive Committee for Youth, it is a requirement that every student, because there is a slot for a student, that every student gets a recommendation from your school, your institution of learning. That is very important. That whoever fills that slot for students must have an ID and a recommendation letter from your schools. We are aware that some schools are closed, but as you are aware, we are in a struggle, and these are extraordinary times. We want to beseech you to move around so that you can ensure you get those forms. Secondly, also to emphasize that we have information that NRM is not only nominating their candidates right now, even when they issued a roadmap to start on 29th, we are also aware there is a plan to adopt NRM youth structures into the National Youth Council directly without getting into the election. So we are requesting all the coordinators from wherever you are, be very vigilant. Now, to quote the president himself, he said, "I am going to run the most expensive campaign funded by Museveni himself." I want to repeat that statement. A few days ago, while the president appeared on a radio station in Jinja, he said, "I am going to run the most expensive campaign funded by Museveni himself." This is what he meant. When the Museveni government organizes such elections, let us get involved and we overwhelm them. These elections give us an opportunity to have nine members on every village preaching the power message. That is why it is very important for the young men of this country that constitute 78% to get involved and ensure that we take all the slots because we can. My projection is that we should get about 98%, and we leave the other 2% not for the NRM, but for our colleagues in other opposition parties, just being lenient. But people from People Power and N.U.P, we encourage you to participate in these elections, preach the message. The narrative has always been that the NRM keeps this campaign a low key, and then people are not aware. Let us do the sensitization as wide as we can. As I conclude, I think it is important to add a word of encouragement to students out there. Colleagues, Julius Malem of EFF, by the time of decolonization of South Africa, he was in charge of the youth wing. He was a young man and they did wonders and they liberated their country. In 1957, Kwame Nkrumah Sajefo, while he was in a university in Pennsylvania, USA, he mobilized other students and came together and gave Africa the first African country independence after India, which was led by Mahatma Gandhi in 1952. So students of this country, we have our challenges. Our challenges are employment, our challenges are education, and we must fulfill that mission that we must liberate our country. I want to encourage you colleagues not to fear, but to have a world view thing. We are not young anymore. Some of us qualify even to be fathers. Some of us qualify to be married. Our colleague has just been married. So I encourage you, all of you, to participate in the issues of this country. If I may settle down on this country, colleagues, Museveni was the University of Dar es Salaam by the time he brought an idea that I should go to the village and fight for this country. Uganda was in a medical school here in Makerere, and later on went to in Mozambique. They were students. General Kurigo Mugisha Muntu, after his last paper, he passed behind Livingstone, for those of you know Livingstone from Makerere, and went with the bush. We are a generation that's going to liberate this country, and students from all over the country, you shouldn't be afraid. And I want to say this with clear intent, that to me, I feel that destiny is calling on all of us, and we should be encouraged to see things the way they are. If only all of you could sense what I sense, that the time is right now for all of us to shake off our slumber and slough our fear. We are going to liberate this country because we are many and we are energetic. For God and my country, Chairman, my President, I thank you.
The former guild president of Makerere University, Dr. Roy Semboga, thank you very much for that elaborative speech. Makerere, I allow me to recognize the presence of the president of Uganda, the Senate president of Uganda, His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu.
People power. Our power.
People power. Oh, Lutalo, Galuete,
Tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, tuliyambale ngule, oh lutalo ngaluwete, tuliyambale ngule, tulizima mu Uganda.
when the struggle is over,
We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. We shall wear the victor's crown. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown in a new Uganda.
thank you very much. We had to stand up for that anthem because of the presence of our principal, who is the people power leader and also the president of the National Unity Platform, N.U.P. I allow me also introduce the big officials in the people power movement that because the principal is around. I recognize the presence of the informal sector leader, Chairman Nyanzi, who is the coordinator of the
People power. Our power. People power.
People from the border sector, Chairman Nyanzi, people from the informal sector who are young, Chairman Nyanzi is calling upon all of you to be part of this youth election. I also recognize the presence of the spokesperson of the People Power Movement, Honorable Joel Senyonyi. You're very welcome, sir.
People power. Our power. N.U.P. Oye. N.U.P. Oye. N.U.P. Oye.
Thank you very much. Proud members of N.U.P. I am very proud member also. Allow me also recognize the presence of our Executive Secretary, Council David Louis Rubongoya. You're very welcome, sir.
People power. Our power. N.U.P. Oye.
Oye. Council is also a member of N.U.P. Allow me also recognize the presence of the Deputy Principal of the People Power Movement, Madam Lina Zedriga, Doctor, Honorable.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
N.U.P. Oye.
Oye.
Thank you very much, and all our comrades. Allow me recognize the presence of the team leader of the National People Power Youth Wing, Honorable Zake Utebi Francis.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
Zake.
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 Oyo commander wa Majego kutaka wadogo People Power. We sympathize with whatever you're going through, Honorable Zake, but we know this is leading us into a new Uganda, and as young people, you've inspired us greatly and given us the motivation we need to also seek office and change what is going on in the country. I thank all of you comrades for being here, and at this particular moment, allow me invite our team leader who has really done a very tremendous job ever since we were appointed in the youth wing. We've moved around the whole of Uganda. We've been to the central, we've been to the east, we've been to the north, we've been to the west. So most of these coordinators here, we've had a personal interactions with them because Honorable Zake has been a very, very, very able leader. Honorable Zake, please come and say something.
People power.
Our power.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
N.U.P. oye! N.U.P. oye! Yeah, you have to repeat after me. N.U.P. N.U.P. Oye! Mr. President, the principal of the People Power Movement and the president of the N.U.P. and also my biggest inspiration ever. I take this opportunity to also recognize the Secretariat of the People Power Movement, including our deputy principal, the spokesperson, our executive secretary, the informal sector leader, and all the leaders right here. Please give them at least a clap. I'm Zake Francis, and I'm the team leader of the National Youth Wing of the People Power Movement, and I'm yet to be a full member of the N.U.P. And I want to take this opportunity to let you know that I will be a flag bearer passing through the Electoral Commission of the People Power Movement and also the Electoral Commission of the N.U.P. to be a member of Parliament again of Michana Municipality.
Our power, people power. People power, our power. Our power, people power.
On the same note, I'm calling upon all young people there. This platform is for us. And this is going to be the time when we are going for these elections, especially these youth elections, whereby we must use our flag come what may. So, and other colleagues out there, please do not be diverted from the course. Go out there, promote our new platform, because it is the alternative, not the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are right here to unveil to you the members of the youth wing countrywide. We've been doing this job from the time we were unveiled. As my deputy, she has just told you that we moved all over the country. Actually, it was my very first time to be granted the opportunity to move around Uganda. Thank you, Mr. Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. And we have at least done the job, even within the situation we have right now, where we are given some illegal directives not to move, but at least our members have made it here. I want to thank you so much. Thank you for coming. At least this is the biggest launch I've seen from the time we were nominated. I want to thank you again. You know, we would be here nominating people, just reading names, whereby the people are not here. But at least, I'm sure when we are going to be reading the names, you're all going to be available. I have the first communication, which goes to the first communication is going out there to the Electoral Commission of Uganda, which is supposed to be independent, but actually it operates as if it is not independent. That all the time they have tried so much to frustrate the works of the opposition. And I'm here to let you know that we are participating in these youth elections. We do not expect any frustration, because the moment you frustrate us, you know that we are the alternative, and we are going to do something to expose you, to make sure that we take up those positions from village level. Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to call upon the different youth groups we have in Power. There are so many, over 1,000 of them, and they are for young people please do not leave this to just the structures of the youth wing. Please come up and also participate, because we need over 900,000 persons who are below 30 years to 18 to participate in these elections, and we want to win them massively to put the NRM party down. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to let the Electoral Commission know that the moment you do not go down to the villages to conduct the youth elections, because you have already frustrated us by not communicating to us the right information to the young people. Right now, the different members of the NRM, they are picking nomination forms from the different headquarters of the EC, something you do not indicate from your roadmap. And the NRM people, they are busy picking, and first you didn't inform us. So I'm letting you know that you either conduct a free and fair election of the young people, or the young people are going to get involved, and we shall organize it ourselves from the village level the moment we don't get there. You know, there is this kind of thing they do. They sit from within their houses and they start, you know, starting to write and dictating names of people who are not even from the villages. That is not going to happen with the N.U.P. We have come to do it, and we have come to participate in it and to win it. And that's the most important thing. So wherever you are, just know Zake has come, the Lion of Mityana is here. Mr. Nyabakama, you've been just hearing about Zake. Kayura dealt with me from Parliament, he failed to kill me. And I'm here. Now Ochola, he has tried the same 2 times from Arua, and now this time when they captured me illegally. So I'm right here in my second life. I'm going to do all whatever it takes to see that I'm taking their boss away using our candidate, the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
People power. Power. Power.
People power. So, young people out there, I'm letting you know that this is our time. This is our time to take positions from the village level up to the member of what? Parliament, because we already have a president already. So anyone out there, you're feeling timid, you feel that you cannot do this, this is not the position you're supposed to be in. Just know that we've come here to do business, the business which was started by our elders. Our elders were never timid. Our elders were brave. They took the whites. They went away. Now this is our fellow black person here, Museveni. Ladies and gentlemen, one time our next president, the 10th president, warned Mr. Museveni. He cautioned him that sometime back when he was the age of Mr. Kyagulanyi, he told the country that the moment Obote rigs the elections, he will go to the what? He informed Mr. Museveni that now we are back at the same what? Level. So it is either by ballot or what? You said it. People power! People power! Young people out there, for me as Zake Francis, I've been inspired from the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, the next president, and I've played my part. This is the time not to just leave these things for the Bobi Young, for the Den City, for the Ashlafs, for the Nucifers, for the Edimutwe. This is the time to also do it. Don't think like these are security personnel. They are not. They are just like you. They are normal people. I'm not any different from you. Honorable Kyagulanyi, what he can do, you can do it. If he's somewhere else, do it, please. Do not think that we are going to send you out there and you're going to expect any frustration. For us young people, we can work within all means. You get it? The moment you don't do it, I'll come for you, I'll finish you before we lose it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me not waste a lot of time. We shall have time to discuss more. But as you know me, Zendi Muzoganyi. Yes. Kati wabanga tuyagala kubikola, abala bajja kubikola, naye nga tonna bagana kubikola. Zenja kujja nkulyewo. Ate mulo. So we are to do this whether we are alive or dead. For me, I told Mitana people, even my soul, the moment they kill me, because actually they can't kill me, because they have already failed. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is either now or never. So, I'm taking this opportunity to read to you the different names we are unveiling today to participate in the youth elections, and we are using a narrative to byenyigiremu. Tubikole ki? Ebyokulwa tubikole ki? Mu lusoga bakoba tubyenyigiremu. I'm beginning with I think without being interrupted a bit, let me begin with Central Uganda, because this is how the list is. Let me begin with the Central Uganda, with Kampala Metropolitan, and we are going to do it in a way that I'm going to read your names, you come up here. You're going to stand in the corridor right here, and then we shall invite our dear president to launch you or to take a picture with you before. So our region head from Kampala Metropolitan is Nyeko Derek. Please come here. Nyeko. Actually, West. People power. Nakawa, we have Chocho Imachret, we have Nyahura Stewart, we have Ganafa Andrew, Machinde we have Musiri David, we have Kawaga Rasto, we have Nanchinga Justin, Kampala Central we have Mariam Nansamba, Agaba Ibra, Luvaga we have Nachuku Allen, we have Mpindi Sulaiman, Kawempe we have Narukwago Judith, Dumbuye Muhammad Abdallah, Mukono we have Mukoyoyo Ivan, Nabisubi Susan, Nachimbugwe Peter, and Greta Mubende. We are getting to Greta Mubende. Please, let us first take a photo with all the Central. Okay. Greta Mubende, we have the regional head, Kabuya Frank. Regional deputy, we have N.U.P Ferrista, Isaac Chitanda, Zaina Nampima. Chiboga, we have Nansamba Rosie, Bukenya Rajab. Mitiana, we have Grace Chasaku and Matovu John. Chankwas, we have Kafat Sebwana, Sechansi Emma. In Mubende, we have Semanda Richard and Nantongo Sophia. Mabila Stretch, we have Seluyange Christopher and Nanyonjo Hanifa. Buyikwe, we have Sembatia Ismail and Narei Soshania. Kayunga, we have Jambo Francis, Chisache Lynette. Bupuma, we have Mugabi Susan and Sebulime Faluk. Kwetalwelo, we have Wembo Chris Jones. And Nampera Silvia. We also have Chagulanyi Shafik and Namukisa Esther. 12B, we have Centers Stephen, Ndaula Mastula, and Salam Saleh. Nakaseke we have Babirie. We have Babirie Nankumba, Mukisa Godfrey, Nabagala Rima, Okumu Sam, Musaz Robert, Kasumba David. Great Ampiji we have Basil Mota, Reste Nabagala, we have in Butambala, Kakoma Juma, Nabakamorin. In Gomba we have Sevilla Rogers, Anantumba Beruth. In Piji we have Natai Maria and Chikoyo Michael. Gweta Masaka we have Kato David and Nalubega Angela. Masaka we have Nansu Buga Sharon, Irene Nalubega, Senaburia Baker. In Rengo we have Namurindwa Sharon, Ashadu Jemba, Nashimuli Mariam. Sembabule we have Nyanzi Henry Maweje.
People power! Our power!
People power! Madrin Navikind Grace. Chotara we have Nakasita Rofian, Kavanda Mansul,